wage. In most cases, co-op opportunities, you have that benefit. And lastly is that you will have a job offer even before you graduate in most cases, because you have experience working with these companies from before. And the companies are looking to basically cut down their cost as much as they can. So if you have organizational knowledge from before while you were there as a student, it kind of helps you, you have a foot forward than other candidates. So that's co-op. And then as we said that we are primarily an undergraduate university, we have a tons of research opportunity as early as your second semester in your undergrad life. These are mostly professor-led research opportunities that you'll have. You'll work as a research assistant. Your names will be published in this paper, and that gives. And it's mostly it's a science student and arts faculty that have a lot of research opportunity, but also there are some options in the business school as well. And lastly, field work. You'll be doing a lot of field work. We have a school of environment, and for some of the science faculties, there is a ton of field work that you'll be doing to gain experience as well. So that's what it is at St. Mary's. You'll get those opportunity to work, to implement your in-class learning and solving the real-world problems. These are some snapshots. That's the Huskies field. That's our main field. And that's the atrium. It's one of the newer buildings. That's where our 24-hour study space is. It's well lit, lots of natural lighting. And then there's the Power Patrick Library right beside it as well. There are quiet floors, and then there are collaborative floors as well, where you can talk and engage in your group works. So at St. Mary's University, we have 5 areas of study that programs that we offer. One is arts. We have one of the largest arts faculty in Atlantic Canada. Then we have commerce, the business school. It is one of the top business schools in Canada. We are primarily funded by the Sobey family. Faculty of Science, which is fairly small, but we have, it's a very robust core Faculty of Science that programs that we offer. School of Environment and School of Engineering. I'll quickly go through all these. If you have any questions at the end about any of these, feel free to let me know. So for the first Faculty of Arts, you'll be studying subjects in the areas of humanities, social sciences, culture, languages. And because I think with an arts degree, you have a much wider scope of looking at a problem than someone strictly from a business and science perspective. And there was a survey done, I think 5-6 years back, where top 25 CEOs of Canada at some point had an arts degree. This shows the relevance of a degree in arts. So we have, as you can see, there's tons of options for arts, major, minor, certificate programs that you can choose from, and we are pretty flexible. If you want to do a double major, let's say if you're someone who's planning to go to law school, we have recently introduced, I think, a new program which is called, sorry, I think I lost it there for a second. It's, I think it's legal studies there, which kind of helps you to prepare for law school, but then you can mix and match. You can get a double major, which is it's pretty doable. Sobey School of Business, we offer the core business program, accounting, economics, finance, but then we have some niche programs as well, like entrepreneurship, if you're interested in startups and small businesses. We have a certificate in human resource management that you can, and again, it's very open and flexible. You can have like double major, you can have a cross-faculty major between business and arts if you want to, if you're interested in that. There's tons of experiential learning opportunities here. We have something called the Impact Fund program, which basically accounting and finance students are eligible to get into. So this is a portfolio of $500,000 that you're managing on behalf of the university. And this is real money. So again, it's giving you that real handling, managing real money for the university gives you that experience. And I've seen a lot of the people who were in the head Impact Fund program, they went on to, working for this big hedge fund companies around Canada. And one of my friend is actually now in New York working as an investment banker in Wall Street. So then we have Faculty of Science. It's a very small Faculty of Science that we have, we offer. But it's, again, our biochemistry, physics are very popular, computing science. Our astrophysics program is also very, very popular among students. And we have a pre-professional stream, which is the pre-health science. This is a stream if you're looking to go to med school eventually. It helps you prepare for med school. And then lastly, we have the certificate in forensic science, which is also a very popular program, and it has to be done in parallel with one of the majors. Then we have the School of Environment. It has two streams: environmental science, which looks at the scientific aspects of environmental issues, and then we have the environmental studies, which looks at the policy and the regulatory side of environmental issues that you'll be studying. That's actually one of my friend Maka. She's doing her master's at St. Mary's as well. She has done a bunch of research work with one of her professors. They went to Bay of Fundy very frequently to do some studies there. So she's an amazing advocate for the School of Environmental Science. And lastly, we have the School of Engineering. We do it a little differently at St. Mary's. We offer a 2-year diploma. So you do your year 1, year 2 at St. Mary's, and then you can transfer it off to Dalhousie. We have a partnership with them. So you transfer to Dalhousie for your 3rd and 4th year to do your specialization, or University of Windsor, which is in Ontario, depending on which area you want to go into. Next up, we want to make sure that obviously you come to university, there's a student life outside your academic life, so we want to make sure that you have tons of resources and support while you're there as a student. So some of the student supports that we have is the counseling center. You get up to 8 free counseling sessions, and you don't have to pay for any of these. These are all included in your tuition fee. If you're feeling overwhelmed at any point, need a safe space to talk to someone or talk to a professional, the counseling center can help. Then we have an Indigenous student ambassador. We have a Black student ambassador right now. We are also in the process of hiring a Black student advisor. So if there's someone you want to talk to, you can. We have Fred Smither Center for Students with Learning Disability. At any point, like if you see that you might feel like more anxious giving an exam in a large hall room, so you can work it out with the Fred Smither Center if you need a quiet space to write your exams. So this doesn't list all the services that we have. We have an international student center as well. But then we have tons of academic support as well for you as a student. So the most important one is academic advising. So your academic advisors are more like your guidance counselor in high school. They can help you navigate, like if you're looking to go into, let's say if you want to become a doctor or a pilot, what is the way you have to take in order to go about it, so they can help you with it. We have the writing center, we have the career services. They help you with building your resume, doing mock interviews so that you're prepared for your job interview. Also like financial aids and awards office, if you are someone who's looking to manage your finances, like you want to know about scholarships that are both within the university and outside, we have a designated financial aids and awards office that can help you with that. So again, there's a ton of resources that are there, and this doesn't list all the resources that we have on campus. My thing is that if you feel overwhelmed at any point, reach out to someone, and they can probably guide you or help you to take you to a department that can possibly help you. Student life, there's tons of clubs and societies that you can be part of. These are volunteering clubs and societies. So again, it gives you that experiential learning opportunity while you're there as a student. We have about 60 to 70 clubs and societies. One I can talk about is the SMU Investment Society that opened up recently. So these are students talking about investing in cryptos and stocks because they have a similar interest. So again, you can be a part of a society that you want to be a part of. If not, you can open up your own society. We had the African Society as well that did the African Night in collaborating with Dalhousie University. We had the Caribbean Society. I was from Bangladesh, so we opened up a Bangladeshi society as well for students so that they can feel welcome into the university. And we have a great athletic program as well. If you're someone who's interested in athletic, we have great varsity team. We have a men's and women's soccer, track and field, cross country, men's and women's hockey. We recently got a brand new hockey rink. Men's football, women's rugby, and women's and men's basketball and volleyball. So that's something you can take advantage of as well. But we have club level sports as well, if you're interested in that, and intramural level sports as well, if you want to keep yourself active. Then your gym access is included in the tuition fee as well. So there are tons of fitness classes that are running, and these are free of cost. You just have to sign up and show up for it. So you have all those services, and all home games are free for students. So if you're there as a student, you can attend, make some plans with your friend, attend all the home games that we have at St. Mary's University. Resident life, we have about 1,000 students living on residence, and again, the split is very same. 1/3 of it is international. We have, I assume most of you are around from Halifax, but if you have to live in residence, it's a great place to connect. You're a few steps away from all the on-campus activities. In your first year, it kind of helps you to integrate in the university community much faster. We have a meal hall where we have all kind of food options. We have 2 on-campus dietitian. If you have any dietary restrictions, you can work it around with them for a better meal plan that suits you. Now let's talk about scholarships. So at St. Mary's University, we have entrance scholarship. It used to be renewable before, but moving on from this year, it won't be renewable anymore. It's a one-time scholarship that they offer. If you have an admission average of 85% and higher, you'll be given a one-time scholarship, which is between $2,000 and $7,000. At St. Mary's, we invest about $16 million every year on scholarship. We have 1,000 on-campus jobs that you can do as well. And then in addition to that, we have lots of admission awards as well that you can take advantage of. And some of those are more prestigious, like we have the Presidential Scholarship, which is $12,000 every year. And I think that's still renewable. If you end up getting one, we have the SOBI Innovator Scholarship, which is $50,000 over 4 years. Again, that takes care of the tuition fees. But in addition to this, there are tons of scholarship that the Financial Aids and Awards Office can help you navigate and help you apply for it. So there's tons of research scholarship opportunities. These are the admissions requirement. I'll quickly go over. So for English, for arts, we need your English and 4 academic, grade 12. For commerce, we need your English, mathematics, general mathematics, and 3 additional academic courses. For science, we need your English, pre-calculus, 1 academic science. It can be physics, chemistry, or bio, and 2 additional academic courses. And for engineering, it is English, mathematics, chemistry, 1 academic science. We generally recommend physics, and 1 additional academic courses. And we need an average of 70% with no course below 60%. That's the requirement to get in. But again, if there's a course that you didn't do well enough to basically to get into one of our programs, we have tons of access program, U-Prep program, university prep program that you can do at St. Mary's as well. Let's talk about the tuition fees a little bit here. So this is, I think, based on domestic art student, but it's very, like, it varies very slightly between the faculties, but it's around $10,000 your tuition fee. There are student fees that is around $723. And in addition, if you're living on residence, for meals and accommodation, it's around $4,600 or $500. So in total, you're looking about $24,000, $25,000, but then again, that doesn't take into consideration any scholarship that you might receive. So that's our tuition fees. And one thing that I forgot to mention was the deadline. So if you're looking to apply for September, your scholarship deadline is March 1st, and if you're looking to apply for January, your scholarship deadline is July 1st. So keep that in mind. And I know there's a lot of grade 7 and up, so my best advice to you will be to start working hard. This is where you build your foundation. From grade 7, 8, you move on to your grade 12. Eventually, your admission is based on grade 12, but also how well you do in your grade 12 depends on how well you do in your grade 7, 8, 9, starting on from here, right? So make sure you put in that effort. Try to get as high of an average that you can, CGPA, because those count in for your scholarship. Also, in your grade 10 to 12, if you can do volunteer work, that's also amazing. A lot of the scholarship opportunities requires volunteer work. So again, if you're volunteering for the church or your local community, make sure you get some certification that kind of attests that you did volunteering work. That kind of comes into play when you applied for like the presidential scholarship, right? Because the presidential scholarship is based on your academics, but also your extracurricular activities. So keep that in mind when you're grading yourself up. I know it was a lot of information, but don't worry, you don't have to remember it all. I'll be here to ask any question, and then I'll leave my contact information as well. We can set up a one-on-one meeting virtually to answer any of your question. Thank you everyone for listening. I hope I didn't go over time.
Thank you so much. I hope that was a very loaded session, and I'm sure we took notes and we have our questions ready. But before we take our questions, we'll have our second presenter, Tyree Halley. Tyree is the African Nova Scotian Recruitment Coordinator for Nova Scotia Community College, and he's been on this position for over a year. Please welcome with me, Tyree Halley.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm so happy to be here. Truly blessed. What can I say? So I'm here to talk about Nova Scotia Community College. How many of you know what NSCC is or heard of NSCC before? Okay, good. That's a good sign. So Nova Scotia Community College is the college essentially in Nova Scotia. So we actually have 14 campuses stretched out across the province of Nova Scotia. I'm going to have a map coming up soon that I'm going to show you. But it's a really good opportunity for people to go and get a trade. But also it's more than just that. It's a place where you can go and get a business degree. You can go and be a nurse. There's many different options at NSCC. We have over 140 programs. Now, I want to make a disclaimer first because I know a lot of you are young and you guys have a lot of life left ahead of you before you even make decisions about where you're going to go to school. So although I represent NSCC and I love NSCC dearly, I never went to NSCC actually. People in my family did, and even though it's a wonderful place to learn and to be educated, you're gonna have to make the decision what's best for you, where you want to go to school. Everybody's journey's different. I'm just here as basically an informer to let you know what NSCC has to offer. But there's so many great places out there that you could go to school, like St. Mary's. Dow and other institutions as well. So I just want to say that first, so there's no pressure, but it is a really great place. I'll go to the next slide, please. Oh, I can use this. Oh, awesome. I've never did this. This is so high tech. I love it. Okay, there. So before I start, I usually like to make a land acknowledgement. Now, of course, we're here in Nova Scotia, which is technically the unceded territory of the Mi'kmaq people, but I want to make an acknowledgement as well. Nova Scotia is actually home to so many African Nova Scotian residents here. For me, I'm a descendant. My dad's family's from Africville, which is down in the Seaview Park area, right by the bridge. But this has been our home for over 400 years, and it's so nice to be in a room full of beautiful black faces. It's truly a blessing. So I usually like to, yes, please, thank you. So I just want to acknowledge that in each and every one of you guys, because it's such a blessing to be here. So after that, I want to show you the map of NSCC. So we stretch across the whole province, so I can't really tell you like we have one campus that's here or one campus that's better than the others. All 14 of our campuses, which include the E-campus, have their own different vibes at the campus and own programs that they specialize at that campus. Here in HRM, the closest place for you for NSCC would be the Lead Street campus, which is in the north end of Halifax. It's just that way, maybe like a 5-7 minute drive. We also have the Acrely campus and the Ivany campus as well within HRM. But as you can see, we have campuses all the way up in Marconi, all the way down to Shelburne, and they all offer different programs. So if you're interested in engineering, you would find yourself at the Ivany campus. If you were interested in marine type of stuff, if you want to fix boats or learn how to navigate a ship, you would find yourself at the Strait Area campus. If you were interested in trades, if you wanted to be an electrician or if you wanted to be a carpenter or a plumber, you could find yourself at either the IT or the Acrely campus. So again, all of our campuses are all across the province, and we even have an E-campus if you want to learn online, so you don't have to actually go to a campus. Oops, wrong way. Okay, so why is NSCC a great place to consider for you to go to school? So the first thing that I'll say is, because we already spoke about it, is we have locations all throughout the province of Nova Scotia. So again, you don't have to stay in HRM. You know, you can go to the Valley, you can go up to Cape Breton, you can go down to Yarmouth if you wanted to. We have experimental learning, similar to St. Mary's as well, where you're going to be able to experiment and really get to know your craft before you graduate and be able to go and work in your industry, which is really, really important. All of our programs are industry-driven curriculums, so everything that we teach is going to be exactly what you're going to be doing in the industry and what you're going to be doing in your career once you graduate, which is really good. We also have inclusive learning environments, so NSCC, we have tons of international students, tons of folks from Nova Scotia, tons of people from Canada, all over the world. So again, you're going to really be around a diverse group of people, which is really good for your learning and your development. We have workplace and co-op opportunities. So in fact, all of our programs, it's required for you to do what's called a co-op opportunity. So it's going to be between either your first semester and your second semester, or your first year and your second year, for you to be able to go out and work in the industry as an apprentice before you graduate, which is really important. I went to university and I just did the full 4 years, and when I graduated, I really didn't know what I was going to do. I found myself working in the bank, and I was miserable and I wasn't enjoying it. Luckily, I found my path to NSCC, but if you go to college, it's going to save you that time, because before you graduate, you're going to really be able to go into the field and make sure that what you're studying is what you're going to really want to do after, because you know, you don't want to waste money, you don't want to waste time. Those are two very important things that you need to do, so it saves that. We have small class sizes, so most of our classes are only going to have about 20 students in the class. So you're not going to have a huge classroom. You're going to be able to work one-on-one with your instructor to be able to make sure that you get the help that you need. We have so many things in place to really make sure that you're going to be successful at NSCC, which I'm going to talk about in future slides. Also, our instructors have real-world experience, so they actually have worked in that field. You know, if they were an electrician, they have been an electrician. Now they're teaching. If they were a nurse or a dental assistant, or even if they worked in the business field of some degree, because we also have business administration at NSCC, they know what you need to learn to be successful, to be going on and getting a good job. So we have student advising, and we have a student service advisor at all of our campuses. So what they do essentially is, at NSCC, we value the fact that Indigenous and African Nova Scotian students, they need the support to be successful. We understand that, you know, Nova Scotia hasn't been that great to them, if we're being honest, throughout the history. So we really want to make sure that we have folks in place to really support students to be able to be successful in the program. So what they do, they help you get connected to tutors. They help you find extra funding and things that are available that you might not know that those scholarships and awards are available for you. They're there to help you with problem solving and just life situations. You know, it's really beneficial to have someone that, you know, looks like you and shares similar backgrounds to be able to, you know, support you and be a mentor and really be an advocate for you while you're in school. It's really important. So this is Brianna. Brianna graduated from Halifax OS in 2015. She ended up going to St. Mary's. I didn't plan it this way. She went to St. Mary's for a semester and realized it just wasn't a good fit for her. So she ended up, you know, dropping out. She ended up enrolling in the aircraft maintenance technology program at the Ivany campus. In spring 2018, she graduated from her program, and then in summer 2022, she was able to become a licensed aircraft maintenance engineer. She works for Jazz, and fun fact, she's my little sister. So even though I didn't go to NSCC, you can see how NSCC has impacted, you know, people in my family and in my life, and I'm very, very proud of her. She makes fun of me because anytime something happens with my car, she's like good with her hands, and I'm like, you know what, let me just sit behind a desk and not get my hands dirty. So it's funny how we're very different, but I'm super proud of her and all that she's able to do and accomplish. We also have cultural-based programming at NSCC. So what that is essentially is we have a curriculums that focus on particular programs, but with an Afrocentric approach. So one of the programs that we have is Afrocentric Early Child Education. So again, it's going to be a program where you're going to learn with everybody else in the classroom is going to be black. The instructors are going to be black, and the whole curriculum is shaped around Afrocentricity and being able to just let kids be kids and learn through playing and role playing and being doctors and doing that kind of stuff, which is really cool. And this program is fully funded by the government. So NSCC does have programs like the Continuing Care Program, the Early Child Education Program that are fully funded from the government, as long as you sign a form that says that you're willing to work within Nova Scotia for a certain amount of time after you graduate. Usually it's 2 years. You can have your tuition fully paid for. And you can actually go on to university after NSCC, which is something I'm going to talk about in future slides. So it's a good way for you to have a transition from college, because I mean high school's here, university's here. I want to say community college is somewhere in the middle. So it kind of is like a good stepping ground for you to kind of get your feet wet and then be able to go on to university if you want to do that. Because we have a 2+2 program, which I'm going to talk about in a little bit. We have campus-wide events at NSCC, so each campus is a little different, as I mentioned, and each campus prioritizes some events more than others. So during Black History Month, of course, we were able to do a bunch of different events. So we had a discussion panel with African Nova Scotian elders from different communities throughout Nova Scotia, so some from the Preston area, some all the way from New Glasgow, some from Cape Breton. So again, that whole holistic African Nova Scotia approach and just learning from our elders is really important. We also have a Ask a Black Entrepreneur event where we have a panel discussion with Black and African Nova Scotia entrepreneurs who are NSCC alumni, and they give valuable information on how they were able to turn their idea into a business, which is so beneficial because, a lot of us, we have great ideas, but we don't know how to really bring them into reality. And sometimes we just need to be able to talk and communicate with other people who have done it so that we're able to learn from them and be able to, be our own bosses and have our own businesses and stuff. We also have Danny Stone, who's from Dartmouth. He was able to come in and help facilitate a workshop that creates positive mindsets and living your dream. So he's very motivational, and if you're someone that needs motivation, sometimes we all need a little bit of motivation. So again, we have great campus-wide events that are really magnificent. This is one of my favorite things. So this picture is in St. Kitts and Nevis, and this was back in May 2022. So since NSCC's funded by the government gives us a certain amount of money each year. So we have NSCC International, which is a different department at NSCC that basically creates these opportunities, like the global skills opportunity, to be able to take staff and students to another country in the world for 2 weeks and fully integrate yourself in that culture, in that school that you're going to go to, and you really get real life experience in that country. So 2 years ago, I was very fortunate enough. I went to the Caribbean. I was down in St. Kitts and Nevis, and it was amazing. We got a tour of both the islands. When I got there, it took a little warming up because, again, I'm very fair-skinned, so they were calling me Clear Boy for a long time, and I had to get past that. But it was just so amazing, to be somewhere where I was able to see Black lawyers, Black policemen, Black firefighters. We don't really get to see that a lot here in Nova Scotia, and it's so empowering to be able to go somewhere, where you're seeing people do wonderful things. And I was very fortunate for that. And I'm excited to say that in May of this year, I'm actually going to go to Africa. I'm going to go to Tanzania for 2 weeks. So I'm extremely blessed. And if anybody's from there and wants to give me some advice, please do. We're trying. We want to do Nigeria and Ghana because actually NSCC gets the most applicants. So I really want to go there. We're working on it. We also have awards for African Nova Scotia students. So again, like a lot of you, might not be, from Nova Scotia, but you moved here. This is home for you now. So again, you guys would qualify for getting all these different awards and scholarships that we have available. We actually have over $3 million in scholarships, awards, and bursaries at NSCC. And it comes down to sometimes that we don't even have enough people applying to these awards. So we have the awards team reaching out to us and say, please, do you know someone good that we can give this money to? Because again, if we don't use that money, we'll lose that funding. And, you know, we don't want to make that go to waste. We want to give people opportunity to get school paid for. And to be able to come out of university or college or wherever without a debt, like without student loan, is a true blessing. So again, you really have to take advantage of these opportunities, and that's why I'm here. And if anybody is interested, I would love to help you and mentor you and help you get these great resources. A lot of the times people think, oh, well, don't I have to have the best grades to get these awards? Yes, I mean, you really want to do good in school. I really, you know, advise you doing the best that you can. But with these awards at NSCC, what we look at primarily, number one is your career interest. Can you write a really good essay talking about the program that you're going to do and how that program is going to develop you into being a good human being, to be able to go on and do great things once you graduate? And are you able to show that you have a need for financial assistance? How having this money will allow you to, you know, not have the stresses that you don't need while you're in school to be able to go ahead and do your program. So again, we're not all about the, you know, the volunteer experiences. I mean, again, volunteer grades are really important, but as long as you show passion for what you want to do, you're going to be able to get awards at NSCC, which is really beneficial. So I mentioned earlier a little bit about our 2+2 program. So our 2+2 program essentially is you're combining your education at NSCC with education at another post-secondary institution like a university. So of course you see our good friend St. Mary's on here. So over half our programs qualify for this. So what this is essentially is you do 2 years, you know, in engineering or business or nursing or other, out of the 70 programs that qualify, you graduate and then you would go on to university and start automatically in your 3rd year. So again, it's just a nice like step instead of it being such a steep step from high school to university. You come to NSCC for 2 years. Our tuition is going to be on the next slide, and our tuition is very good compared to other post-secondary institutions. It's a good way to save money, get your full school paid for, and then you can go on to St. Mary's or Dal or CBU or NASCAD and get your degree. The benefit of this is so important. So I went to university right away. When I graduated, I had my degree. I had my degree, cool. But I had no work experience. So again, I fell into working where I could find a job. Who wanted to hire me, right? So if you go to college, you're going to benefit because you're going to have that co-op opportunity before you graduate with your diploma. So you're going to have work experience. Because nowadays, when you go look for a job, it says you have to have so much experience. We're looking for 2 years, whatever experience. How are you going to do that when you're a student, you're going to school, right? So when you graduate from NSCC, you're going to be able to go on to university. And when you graduate, you're not just going to have your degree. You're going to say, I have work experience. I have my diploma. I have all these references. I had these opportunities to go to other countries and learn what it's like being in another country. Again, it just makes you more hireable, which is really good. So again, it's a really good thing to look at. Our tuition. So this is our tuition for 2023, 2024. This is subject to change, but not much. I haven't seen this number change in over 4 years now. So $3,620 for domestic or permanent resident folks. International, it's a little bit higher, but again, it hasn't changed in the last little bit. So that's what you're looking at per year, which, you know, for the young folks, that might look like a lot of money, but trust me, it's not compared to other schools and life things that, you know, you have to pay for and stuff, which is really good. Another really great resource, because a lot of people, especially, you know, I didn't even know what I wanted to do when I was in grade 12, let alone grade 7, 8, 9, and 10. But we have a quiz that you can take on our NSCC website, and you fill out some information about what traits, you know, what your interests, the traits that you like to do. Do you like helping people, things of that nature? And what will happen is the system will automatically let you know where you fall within hands-on, creative, influential, organized, helping, and it will automatically generate programs that are good programs that you should consider or look at doing based on, you know, who you are, which is really cool. Because again, it kind of helps you figure out what you want to do, because you're going to be doing it forever. But the biggest thing that I'll say is, you know, just keep living your life. Like, just, enjoy, where you're at in your life, and just try new things, be creative, and really just take the time to really make sure that, whatever you want to get into, that you love what you do, and really just shoot high and really reach your true potential. Because everybody in here has like a purpose, and you have to find out what that purpose is, and you have to do it, and again, it could be NSCC, could be St. Mary's, it could be somewhere else. But I just want, I want you guys to do great things, and I'm sure you will. And how do you become a student? Okay, I'm almost done, sorry. So if you are in grade 11, you can apply to NSCC. So you have to be at least your first day of grade 11 to apply to NSCC. What's gonna happen is you're gonna have 2 choices on your application. The purpose of this is so that you can have a backup in case you can't get into your first choice. And you could put 2 completely different programs, or you can put the same program but different campuses. And then you're gonna apply, you're gonna give them your transcripts either electronically or you're gonna email them, and then you'll get your acceptance letter. You pay your deposit, $200, to secure your seat, and then you're off to the races. So I'm excited for all the questions that you guys are gonna have, and I really appreciate you guys' time and allowing me this presentation. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Before we get into the question and answer session, I believe we will need to stretch our bodies. Can we all get up? Get up, get up, get up. Walk around the room, say hello to 1 or 2 people that you have not met before. One or 2 people that you have not met before. I know the people that are greeting people they have met. People you have not met before. All right, can we come back to our seats? Don't worry, there will be lots of time to...
If you want, you can do some raffles. I have some T-shirts, so hey, no problem.
So
I'll just, they
All
might
right.
be a little crooked here,
Oh,
but
no,
I
no,
can,
no,
yeah.
no, thank you. Can we get back to our seats? Can we get back to our seats, please? Thank you. Don't worry, there will be lots of time to interact with Ty and I've forgotten your name. Kazim. Forgive me. Okay. I just want to be sure that we have been paying attention. So I'm going to ask some questions. I want to be sure that we've been paying attention. And what question can I ask? St. Mary's University is fully funded by the Nova Scotia government. True or false? Okay, but they have some scholarships, okay? What question can I have again? How many campuses does Nova Scotia Community College has in? Oh, great. I actually have prizes to give, but you gave chorus answers, and then I don't have enough gifts. I'll think of more questions. Okay, let's welcome our facilitators back, and then we can have all our questions. I believe we have questions to at least.
I'm just gonna say that I didn't bring it today, but for 2 people that asked the best questions for me, I'm gonna give them a very special prize. I'm gonna give it to you to give to them.
Oh, thank you.
It's gonna be a lot of swag. So, just saying.
Two people that ask the best
The
questions.
best questions.
Good. Okay. Okay, so yeah, I can see some hand up, so I'm going to start from, should we take numbers? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Know your numbers, please. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. For now, I know we may have more as we go on, but we'll start with number 1 for now.
Which campus do you
Who are you directing your question?
to the NSCC? Which campus do you recommend for coders and website developers?
Great question. So the IT campus in the north end of Halifax, so the one that's closest to here, that campus is focused strictly on IT program. You can do IT and stuff at Churro as well, which is a 50-hour drive from here. But the IT campus is what's going to be best for you because you're going to have cybersecurity, you're going to have IT data analytics, you're going to have business intelligence analytics. The list goes on. So the IT campus. Great question.
Is that the name of that campus?
The IT campus, yes.
IT campus.
IT
All
campus.
right, the IT campus. Okay.
My question is to both of you. Are the co-op experience, the co-ops, are they available to all the programs?
Yeah, so at St. Mary's it is available to all the programs, and we have a designated co-op office that can help you start preparing to apply for co-op and co-op placements. They can help you with job interviews, like mock interviews and things like that.
Okay. And at what level of study can you start co-op? 100 level?
So yeah, at undergraduate level, you start your co-op primarily in your second year. So your second, third, and fourth year, you do one term of co-op each term. So that gives you a year of experience. Co-op positions are mainly offered in summer, so you can do it during summer when you're not taking classes. But they're also offered during like fall and winter, but that time you have to skip classes. So that again, that's something, that schedule, you're going to work it out with the co-op department and also like the companies that you're applying for those co-op placements, right? So they'll help you work around it.
All right, thank you.
Hi.
Oh, yeah. So the biggest thing that I want everybody to take away about NSCC is that like we are a college, so we only offer certificates and diplomas versus offering diplomas and graduate degrees. We do have graduate certificates. To answer your question in simplest form, co-op is actually a course credit requirement for all of our programs. So if you go to NSCC, you're gonna have to do a co-op because it's a work placement requirement. It's gonna happen either between your first and your second semester. It could happen if you're doing a one-year program. It could happen in between that break. But usually it's offered because school ends around April for post-secondary. You're usually going to do your co-op from May until June. It could be paid. It could be unpaid. It all depends on the work that you put in your resume, your cover letter that your instructor will help you with, and be able to go for jobs that you really want.
Hi, this is to both of you. What if I wanted to do my master's or my PhD? Do I still have to write like the thesis thing that I need to do at the end? Or is there other opportunities? Is there anything that would cover that up?
Yeah, so graduate school, it depends. If you're looking to go more towards thesis, research-based masters, because there's, for those, you need to have research-based experience in your undergraduate, right? So again, the pathway, you can choose it. If you plan to do 2 years at NSCC, then come to St. Mary's, or you come directly to St. Mary's. What you want to focus on heavily in some research work opportunities that you have with your professors, and then kind of start applying for graduate schools. There, at times they'll be looking at your thesis paper, the research paper that you have worked in, and your funding. Like Maka did a lot of work in her Bachelor's of Environmental Science, and she did some research paper as well that got her a big scholarship at St. Mary's to do her master's. So that's why she stayed back, right? So and she had great connection with the professors. So that's how it normally works when you're looking to go for masters and your PhDs.
Yeah, at NSCC, it's so again, we're a community college. So as I said in the beginning of the presentation, it might not be best for everybody. If you want to be a doctor or a lawyer, I would say you would go to the university route, to be honest with you, just because it's going to be more streamlined for you. It still is possible for you to work your way up, but you're going to get a diploma, you're going to go get a degree, and then that's where you get your master's. We do have graduate certificates, but they're not the same thing as a master or a PhD.
So I have a few questions for both of you. So you said that the closest campus would be the Arkley campus closet, right?
The IT campus.
Yeah. So if you even decide to go through to the IT campus, what type of stuff would they teach you there? Would they teach you coding, robotics, or computer software development stuff?
So it all depends on the program that you do, because they're very different. So for instance, the cybersecurity, they're going to be the hackers. Their whole idea is to understand what it's like to hack, a computer. I'm not really great with that. Whereas the IT systems and security, they're going to be the attackers. So they're going to be protecting and encrypting all of their stuff, right? So I guess, like, to answer your question, it all depends on the program that you do. But the beauty of it is when you go on the NSCC website and you look up the IT programs, when you click on the programs, you're going to be able to go to different tabs to find out what kind of jobs can I get with this program, what kind of courses does this program have, and you're going to be able to see the full list of the courses and to see, what courses that you're going to need to do. I hope that answers it.
And for St. Mary's University, for the arts program, you said 4 academical subjects, like other types of courses that you've done, and you need to know English. So for the arts, basically, what are you going to do there? What aspects? Are you going to be drawing, and other types of art, like maybe drawing, painting?
No, that's a great question, and I think even a lot of the grade 12 students kind of make some, there is some confusion here. So we are liberal arts. So there's fine arts, which is more towards painting, drawing, music, and all those which you can study at NASCAD, Nova Scotia College of Arts and Design. And at St. Mary's, we do the liberal arts, which is more towards studying humanities, different culture, different languages. And what it allows you to do is that you'll have a broader perspective of looking at a problem. So that's what you do. And so that's where it is. And in terms of requirement, what I said is that in grade 12, you'll need your grade 12 English academic and then 4 other academic courses. And it can be anything. So arts is very open. Like, it's not very restricted like business, science, and engineering. It's very open. That's where that broad lens comes into play. And you can have like any, that 4 courses can be any academic course for your admission. I hope that answers your question.
Hi. This question is to both of you. What if I want to move into campus? Is it covered by the government, or I'll have to pay for it?
I'm just going to say that's a great question. That's a top question candidate right there.
100%. I agree.
So that's a wonderful point that you brought up. So obviously right now in Halifax, we're having a really hard time in the whole province and Canada, for that matter, with the housing crisis. We're not having enough places for our people to live, but also the prices of places are just really, really expensive. So we are working at NSCC right now our goal is to have a residence or a housing at all of our campuses. So right now, we have housing at the Truro campus. We have housing at the Kingstech campus. We're going to have housing at Akerley starting in the fall, the Ivany campus, and the government just announced more funding to be able to open up more housing. So we are going to have that opportunity to be able to have housing so that you can, get that full student experience. I went to university, and I know that, being in a school, but also being in housing that's close to your school gives you that whole post-secondary experience, which is really important. So unfortunately, it's not covered by the government. You're still going to have to pay to live on housing and residence, but we do prioritize housing for those that are already here in the province that might need somewhere to stay. And the housing is not that expensive. Of course, you can get a meal plan, which will make it a little bit more expensive because they're gonna provide you with food, or you can just like have a room, which is gonna be cheaper. But great question.
No, that's definitely a great question, and that's a question that has been going around a lot. I've been hearing a lot. So yes, I just want to echo what Tari said here, that unfortunately it's not covered, but I think that's where your, if you work hard in your grade 7 to 12, you have great CGPA, you apply for scholarships. If you can get your tuition fee covered, then again, the housing, it becomes a little bit more easier for you. We understand that at St. Mary's, we're looking at options to increase our capacity. At this point, we're at 1,000 students, but we want to make it more affordable for students to come in and live on residence. Yeah, unfortunately, it's not covered. I wish it was, but that's a great question.
I have a question for the both of you. It's two different ones. For St. Mary's University, you saw there were 1,000 job offers on campus. Do you have examples of the job offers?
Yeah, absolutely. So I came as an international student, and during my 4 years of undergrad, I worked on campus because I thought that it was much easier. You can transition between class and work really easily. So sometimes I'm running to my work right after I'm done with classes. So I started out in the meal hall, working there as a student, like a cashier, floater, doing a bunch of things as a dishwasher. Then from there, I went on to work for the residence department. I worked as an RSO, so resident security officer. So we used to do patrols over the weekend. But one thing I wanted to also mention is that during my time, I think once I started getting more involved in the university, I made great connections. I was talking to someone, one of my best friend is from Nigeria. I call him my brother from a Nigerian mother. His name is Damola. So what it did is that it allowed me to also fine-tune my leadership experience. So I ran for the Student Association presidency during that time. It was the most competitive election in the 50 years history, and I was able to successfully win it. So I did work on campus. So student president is one of the highest held student positions on campus. I was fortunate enough and blessed enough to go there. I sat in the university senate and board of governors to make important decisions. So again, when you come to St. Mary's, doesn't matter, St. Mary's, NSCC, any institution that you go, try to keep yourself connected. Talk to as many people as you can, because sometimes we forget that they're in the same boat as you are. So sometimes coming up with that conversation really helps. And on-campus jobs, again, you can be a research assistant, you can be a teaching assistant. There are food services where you can work. Facilities management open up. At St. Mary's, we had something called SMU Works program. Unfortunately, they're discontinuing it at this point, but it was a kind of more administrative work experience during summer. It was a full-time job opportunity. Each department had the funding to hire one student. So you would do a lot of work that would give you some great experience. So as I said, it's done. Like almost every department hires students. So there's a lot of opportunity there.
Or just some of them?
So right now, as I mentioned in the last question, we're working on having residence and housing available at all of our campuses. 13, because again, the 14th one is online. So I don't know, unless you're living in the cloud. But our goal is by 2030, we're gonna have 10 out of the 13 campuses having housing. Right now, we have 3. that are fully functional. In September, we'll have 4, and then next year we'll have 5. So right now, the Truro one, the King's Tech one in the Kentville, and then the Marconi campus, which is a brand new campus that's opening up in the fall. We're going to have Akerley, the one in Dartmouth, and Ivany that are going to open up. So that will be 5. And then we're hopefully going to roll out the one down in Burridge, which is in Yarmouth. And then we're going to open up one. We also have one in the Strait Area campus. Sorry, that's the one in Port Hawkesbury. So that's like the marine navigation one. So we're working on it. We're working on it slowly and steady. And I just want to make another point on that. You can never get enough funding and help, right? So if you have a surplus in scholarships, awards, and bursaries that you can use that for housing too. So I've seen people get so much money in scholarships, awards, and bursaries that they've had credits on their account that just sit there with like $4,000. And, if they finish school, and they don't have anything else to pay for, you get that money back. You can use that for whatever you want, right? So, yeah.
Can I just add a point to that as well? So yeah, you can apply for scholarships. Some of them are stackable, so it covers your tuition, and then you'll have some leftover that you can use. One thing that worked for me great was an exchange program I went to in China. That saved me around $8,000 to $9,000. At St. Mary's, I'm not sure about NSCC, they have some great exchange programs as well, but when you go to university, start looking at exchange programs as well, depending on the area that you're going. Like I went to China, so the tuition fee was covered. I was able to get some great funding from the outgoing dean at the time, Dr. Patricia Bradshaw. She paid for my flight and hotel expenses in China for a month. So that kind of saved me about $8,000 to $9,000. So at university, as I said, always keep yourself open to going to, like, let's say sometimes there's a financial literacy session that happens, I'm pretty sure at NSCC and St. Mary's. Go and attend. You'll find some tips and trick in order to save money or get some extra funding. And another thing that I wanted to mention is that sometimes we kind of shy away from applying for a scholarship just because we feel like we don't fit all the criteria. But still, I would say make the effort to write a statement and apply for it. In a lot of cases, they have to award it within that year. And if they don't get any proper application, they will award it to the person who made the effort to apply for it. So in that way, I was able to, like as I said, I was a very average student when I was in university, but over the 4 years, I was able to get $20,000 to $25,000 worth of scholarships, like from here and there, because I took the time to apply for it, right? So just keep that in mind when you're going to university or college.
Are they available all year round for all courses?
Yeah, so the exchange program, they can be anywhere around the world. At St. Mary's University, we partner with over 100 universities around the world. And they can be, mostly they're during the summer because so that, that's the time when they don't have classes. Fall and winter are pretty, like, I know there are some where students go to Paris to study, mostly in the French study program. They go to Paris. The one that I went was for a month in Zhuhai, China. So I went there for a month. It was an accelerated program. I got 9 credit that kind of transferred to St. Mary's. So that saved on the tuition fee. And again, it was all covered by the university. And as I had some great relationship with my dean at that time, again, this is also another thing in this note I wanted to mention is that your professors are your best friend. Your professor, your lecturers at the university, they can give you professional reference for these exchange programs because at time you will require a professional reference, and your professors are the best person while you're at a university or college. So make those connections with them. In your first class after it ends, go introduce yourself. In that way, they'll be able to put a face to the name that they have. And even till this date, I have great connection with my professors. If I need any reference, I go up to them. So it does help you. So that kind of helped me to get a lot of funding within the university because I had great connections with my professor. So I think there's a big, they're your best friend. Academically, they'll support you. And also like for these associated things like scholarship, jobs, your professors are your best friend. And I think you should leverage that.
I have a couple like general questions. So firstly, like what is like the common criteria to apply for a scholarship?
In most cases, it's your grade 12 average, like your admission average, let's say the program that you're applying for, there are a few specific courses that we need, right? Let's say, for example, if you're applying at St. Mary's, we need your English, we need your pre-calc, we need one academic science, which can be physics, chemistry, or bio, and then 2 additional academic courses. So let's say some of the entrance awards, we will look at strictly at your admission average, right? And then there are some other more, as I said, more competitive scholarship like the presidential, the SOBI Innovator Scholarship. For those, we will look at your, obviously we will look at your grade point average, which should be the highest. Like if you have 97, 98, 99, the better in those 5 courses. And then on top of that, we will look at your extracurricular activity, your community involvement, what you did outside your studies. It can be sports. If you're an athlete, I have seen a lot of athletes get like, tons of scholarships. So first your CGPA, focus on your studies, and then try to focus, if you have some extra time in between your studies, try to give back to the community as much as you can. And that's sort of it for us, I would.
Yeah, for NSCC, there's a lot. One of my favorite ones that we offer is called the SOBI's Award. So the SOBI's Award, you don't even have to have your acceptance. You just have to be thinking about going to school. You basically get a document filled out from an organization like ISANS or any type of community-based organization that can vouch for you and say that like you are a good candidate for this award and this opportunity. And it's valued up to $6,000, so it will literally pay for your first year and most of your second year. For NSCC, for the other ones, you just need to have your acceptance letter, and you just have to write a really good resume to be able to or not a resume, an essay to just convince whoever is going to be the review person on your essay to really be like, wow, I really resonate with that person. I really feel like if he or she is like a nurse or a social worker, that they're really going to make a really impactful change. I mean, I'm very fortunate and blessed because I review a lot of the awards for the African Nova Scotia students. So again, what really speaks to me is someone that is going to write a really good essay that will really talk about, why they have the interest in the program. Who are they doing it for? Maybe they have, maybe their family's not even here and they're doing it to send money to their family back home. Like there's something special about those kind of people, right? So, if I read that, I'm going to really want to give them the award. Not to mention showing that they need financial assistance. And then, the volunteer work, the grades, they're great and stuff. But again, it just comes down to the essay. So again, essay, really good essay, really get someone in your that knows English, like a teacher or someone that really help you with that. And then just, put that passion on the paper, get your acceptance, and you'll qualify for the awards.
And also, I don't know if, well, right now, O2 applications like just started for high school. Or no, they finished and they're like looking for applicants. And I was wondering if any of like the universities or colleges were involved in that.
So that's something I should have put into my presentation, but I didn't want to assume. So O2 students is options and opportunity students for those that don't know. Especially if you're in grade 8 and 9 getting ready to go into high school, they're going to want to know if you want to be O2. For us at NSCC, O2 students are like VIP. So what that means is that we really understand that those that are involved in O2 really need support to make sure that they're successful in post-secondary. So we have a thing that, because a lot of our programs at NSCC, like the nursing, the electrical, welding, they're very popular programs to get into, and their wait lists are very long, right? So what we do is for O2 folks, as long as you apply before September 30th of your grade 12 year at NSCC, you're guaranteed to get into your program. You'll bump whoever. And NSCC also has designated seats in all of our programs at all of our campuses for Indigenous and African Nova Scotian learners. So we hold seats in all programs to make sure that everybody gets an opportunity to get into a program. So yeah, I hope that answers your question.
At St. Mary's, I don't think we have where we hold seats. I think at St. Mary's, it's first come, first serve basis. You come in based you get your acceptance, and then you have to accept the acceptance. That's how it works. I think historically we have never had an issue with a particular seat or a student not getting a program that they didn't want. So, and in more opportunities about the O2 program, I'm not sure, but again, I'll do some research. I'll forward my information, and hopefully they can forward it to you on the O2 program.
That was a great question, by the way. That's another candidate.
Yeah.
Okay. Tariq, can you please tell us about the O2 programs? I'm not sure all parents here know about it. I don't know about the O2 program. Like, what is it about?
Yeah, so in Nova Scotia, I think at some point in grade 8 or 9, before students go on to high school, your student support workers or your guidance counselors will want to ask you and say, do you want to be part of the O2 program, the Options and Opportunities program? I can't really speak on the specifics of that, but I know that if you are O2 at NSC, like, will you come in at NSCC, we do treat you like VIP because we understand that you signed up for O2. Now, just because you're O2 doesn't mean you can't do academic courses. I advise all of you, if you're able to do academic level courses, it's important at NSCC. It's even more important at St. Mary's for you to be able to do it. Some programs, most of our programs at NSCC, you just need your high school. So as long as you graduate, it doesn't matter if you're on an IPP or not, you'll be good to go. But for certain engineering programs, you're going to need that academic grade 12 math. And you can still do it if you're in O2. But yeah, I want to be able to speak more about O2, but I just know that it's beneficial for us, for sure.
Hi, this question is for both of you guys. Do you recognize the IB program? Like, do you think it would help students prepare for university, and what do you see with the results and their performance in school?
Yeah, at St. Mary's University, we recognize the IB program. We have a very rigorous scholarship. We have the IB Presidential Scholarship as well. We recognize that IB is a very rigorous curriculum that prepares you for a university really well, and we also give you advanced credit up to, I think, a year and a half now. So if you have a certain grade point in your certain average on your IB, I know it's out of 42. Let's say if you're on the high end, you can get up to 1 year of university waived off. So that again saves you 1 year and a year of tuition fee at St. Mary's, and our IB acceptance wasn't as improved before, but this year we got a new director of the enrollment services. He's a big supporter of IB student, so he kind of revised it and made it even more. Previously we used to give up to 30 credit of advanced standing. Now we go up to 42, I guess, so you have an incentive to do really well in your IB. That can end up with scholarships and save you almost 1 year of university.
I have one more question. If I was going to go to the mental health care section or to become a psychiatrist, what courses would you recommend for me?
Yeah. So there are two professional stream studies in programs in Canada. One is law and one is health sciences. So we have if you want to be a psychiatrist, you want to go for clinical psychology. We have. So you need so what we mean by professional program is that you have to have a university degree first, and then you have to then you have to write either your LSAT or your MCAT, and then apply for law school or med school, if you're looking to go. So you can do the psychology science stream at St. Mary's, and then you can take the pre-professional health stream where they will help you with taking few courses that will help you prepare for your med school. Then you write your MCAT. I think your acceptance at med school heavily relies on your MCAT result. And then you start your clinical psychology, and then you go on to being a psychiatrist. So yeah.
If there was a award for best kicks, you might win. But just to talk a little bit, if you're IB, chances are, to be honest with you, you're probably going to go to university. You know what I mean? Again, I'm going to be real and say once again, NSCC is not for everybody, and you're probably going to get more benefits by going to a university like St. Mary's if you want to go and be involved in mental health and stuff.
I have a question for St. Mary's University. What courses would I take if I was an upcoming anesthesiologist?
So what was the last word that you mentioned? What courses?
What courses would I take if I was going into anesthesiology or med school?
Okay. Okay. Oh, anesthesiologist. Okay. So that's something again. What courses you'll be taking? As I said right before this question, is that at St. Mary's we offer the core sciences program. So we offer physics, chemistry, bio, and then you have to come here. You have to get your degree with a really high GPA, and then you have to write your MCAT. So I think that's something. The courses that you're mentioning, you'll be taking at your med school or health sciences stream if you're looking to go that route. So that will be your after you're done with St. Mary's and looking to go for med school. Yeah, unfortunately, I'm not aware of that. I wish I could give you a better answer, but I'm not sure what courses you'll be taking. So. Yeah, it's
like biology, chemistry, physics. Like I would take all those.
Yeah.
Courses
Okay.
probably.
So do you mean like admission requirement wise, or exactly like in the program what courses you'll be taking? In the program. So yeah, I think in that regards you'll be taking like there will be some specific courses in your med school, but at St. Mary's you'll be taking the general
Bachelor of Science.
Bachelor of Science, the general Bachelor of Science, and there you'll be taking like there are lots of different options. Obviously, there will be some core. Let's say biology is a great one, so you'll be taking the core biology courses. But then there will be some science electives where you can kind of see which one helps you to go towards your med school for the specific program that you're looking at, and take those courses. And we have the academic advising office that can help you take those courses, help you select those courses when you're in university.
Hi, I have a question here. So it's regarding scholarships. And so I wanted to ask, is it possible for scholarships to be like transferred, for example, with the NSCC 2+2 program, going from NSCC to Dalhousie? Let's say you had a scholarship from NSCC, would you be able to like transfer that, or even abroad as well?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you're going to be able to transfer it, but again, if you have like a credit on your NSCC account and you graduate, you're entitled to that money, so you can get that money and then you can go use it. We're not going to give the money to Dow on your behalf, but it would be your money and you'd be able to like do as you please with it.
Yeah, so at St. Mary's, unfortunately, we don't have transfer scholarship for students coming in from any community college in your first year. So in your third year, there won't be any transfer. It's, again, as Tari said, that you'll have some extra amount, surplus amount that possibly you decide where you want to spend. Unfortunately, at St. Mary's, we don't have a transfer like student scholarship. And students coming in from NSCC, like they are not eligible to get scholarships in their first year. So after that first year, you can apply for these different awards that we have.
I'm saying this question to NSCC. So if you go for one of the campuses, can you go for like the online courses of the campuses? Like you don't have to come physically to class, so you can just go online and do your courses.
Yeah, so one of the beautiful, I don't want to say, one of the benefits that we understood during COVID was the fact that you can do a lot of your learning online. So at NSCC, we have programs that are full-time in person. So that means at least 4 days a week, you're going to have to go in and be in person and learn from 8 to 5. We also have a blended format. So that would be basically 3 days out of the 5 days you would go into campus, but you'd also have courses that you would just do online, which is really good. So you'll have that benefit. We do have programs like the Business Administration program, which is probably our most popular program in partnership with St. Mary's, and I'm thankful to say that. So again, you can go and get your Bachelor's of Business Administration. You can do all the first 2 years all online. It's some of the courses are self-taught, so you just log on and do them as you please when you get time. Some of them are at scheduled times throughout the day and throughout the week that you got to do. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, so I have two questions now. Number one, I want to do the IB program. Well, I've registered it for already. So, what are my opportunities as someone who wants to learn programming and robotics and did the IB program?
Yeah, so at St. Mary's University, I think if you want to go to robotics, School of Engineering is a great place. And as I said, IB prepares you really well for university. So I think you have a lot of incentive to take the IB program and do as well, like put in your best effort and try to get as high of a grade point. For robotics, you can come to St. Mary's, do your 2 years of engineering, then depending on what you like, you can either go to Dalhousie University or University of Windsor, based on the program that you're looking for. And in terms of, what was the other thing apart from robotics that you mentioned?
Programming.
Programming. So we have a computing science program in our Faculty of Science where you learn machine languages, programming, coding, cybersecurity, take courses in all those areas. So that can help you. That's a 4-year program. You can stay at St. Mary's, get it done. There's a tons of experiential learning opportunity and tons of research opportunity as well. And then you can go on to, like, if you want to go for your you can start as a cybersecurity analyst, data security analyst. We recently introduced a program which is called Masters in Science in Computing and Data Analytics, which is again also a very popular program. So that can lead you to a pathway in security, like cybersecurity, data analytics, and all those fields. So does that answer your question?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like for us, like we do have a lot of IT related programs, but the tricky thing is that the 2+2 program that we have, if you want to go on and go to St. Mary's or Dalhousie, you would come out with a Bachelor of Technology versus a Bachelor of Engineering, and that's very important because I think engineering would be considered better to have than a Bachelor of Technology. So again, if you're IB and you want to look at other opportunities for you to go and do robotics, university is probably your better bet because you're going to get more benefit and more credit from your IB courses. You could still come to NSCC, but you know, again, I'm just being real. You know, university is probably a better bet for you personally.
Thank you both. My second question is, now that I'm mainly focused on programming, what would be the school I would go to? Would it be the science or technology, and which one is better for me overall?
I can talk about St. Mary's, like in terms of if you're planning to come to St. Mary's, you're interested in programming, our Faculty of Science is where you'll be looking at that computing science program. We also have a double major on computing science and business administration. That's not as heavy, so for someone who's interested in programming, I would recommend you to go for the computing science program. And then obviously, like, also something that we realized at this time is that micro-credentials are very important as well. As you do university, you can get a lot of micro certificates that can help you to prepare for the real world. And then if you plan on to go to like for graduate program to specialize even further, you certainly have that option. So at St. Mary's, it's Faculty of Science, and in computing science is your best option.
Yeah, I think you brought up a really good point about the micro credentials. So if you go on the website, if you go on a web browser and you search Quick Train, you're going to be able to find a full list of these micro credentials that you can get, and this is very good for like the adults in the room too that might want to go back and get an extra credential to be able to, you know, strengthen whatever industry you're in. They're all funded and paid for by the government, and NSCC is a proud sponsor for a lot of those opportunities, IT related as well. And you can find it on the website if you search if you go on the NSCC website and search micro credentials in the search bar, you'll be able to find all the courses that we're offering to get that micro credential. Again, it's first come, first served basis, so you really want to apply and get in sooner rather than later, but it's free to do, and it's really good. at NSCC, we're all like technology. It's really technology based. We don't really have sciences outside of like practical nursing and medical laboratory technology.
Thank you very much for the great questions, and thank you for answering them. I have a couple of questions here. One of them, I'm sure you can bet, is from a parent. And the question is that what courses can you take either at NSCC or St. Mary's that will have your student loan forgiven? Your student loan forgiven. Are there courses that you can take that would waive your student loan?
I'm not 100% sure on that. I don't think we have any program that where their students, like, I think their loan will be forgiven if they. I think it's. I know that sometimes, like when for the student loan program, Nova Scotia gives a grant, like an amount of it which is in grant form, which you don't have to pay back, but then the loan portion has to be paid back. Sometimes the province of Nova Scotia kind of, their portion, they give it as a grant depending on the student, their financial circumstances. And the federal portion is that they have to pay it. But as an institution, I don't think we have any program where, like, graduating from it or given like they get a certain GPA, their loans will be forgiven. Again, this is not 100%. As I said, I'm going to check on this and get back to you on this further. Yeah.
All right, thank you.
If you go to NSCC and you enroll in the continuing care program, which is the 1-year certificate, and you sign the document that say you're willing to work in Nova Scotia for 2 years once you graduate, your tuition's taken care of. So you don't even have to go to student loans because they're gonna just pay for your school. The Afrocentric Early Child Education program that I talked about earlier, the next intake for that is January 2025. That's fully funded by the government. We also have welding and metal fabrication that is fully funded for African Nova Scotia students here that are willing to do the Irving Shipyard program. So those are the three that I know from right away. Afrocentric ECE and the shipyard, the welding, is exclusive for, African Nova Scotians, whereas the CCA is available to African Nova Scotians and everybody else. But it would be good to kind of get into that, the welding, the metal fabrication. There's really good money in it with the shipbuilders program that they have down there at the shipyard, and all that is funded and fully taken care of.
Okay.
But again, there's so much out there. So again, if you you decide what you want to do, you meet with one of us, and we'll help put together a plan for you so that you can get as much money and you can come out of university or college without having to owe anything.
Okay. Another question: are there specific scholarships for African Nova Scotians to St. Mary's? I know you have said, you mentioned for NSCC.
At St. Mary's, if I remember on top of my head, because in last 2 years our scholarships has changed drastically. Like I think at this point we don't have one, but I know that the university is in the process to create a scholarship. But as I said, it's we don't have anything specific for African Nova Scotian. But I know our department where I work, we are making a sincere effort to connect with African Nova Scotian support workers and try to create something with the university that can help some of these students from the African Nova Scotian community.
Okay. We have this question online. How many years in pre-med school? How many years will you spend in pre-med school in St. Mary's University?
I think it's 4 years. You need to get, as it's a professional program, you have to have a 4 years degree, and then you write your MCAT and go to med school. So it's 4 years.
I must say, I love how some people are really shooting for the stars, wanting to go and do your PhD, go to med school, become lawyers. Like, that's really important, and, that's good.
Okay, my question is for NSCC. So, what is the criteria if you want to go for government funding NPN?
If you want to go for government funding LPN,
Yeah.
licensed practical nursing.
Yeah.
Great question. So a lot of people ask me, is the continuing care the same as the practical nursing? And my quick answer is no, it's not. The courses are very different. It's very rigorous in the practical nursing program. Because first, so to do practical nursing at NSCC, you have to have your grade 12 academic English, your grade 12 academic, and 2 academic grade 12 sciences. You don't have to have specific marks, but you have to have those courses to qualify to get in just in the beginning. We have a lot of awards that are available for just those that are doing nursing. Doesn't matter what your background is. But again, we have so much more awards now for African Nova Scotia students that, you know, essentially you could double up on a number of different awards to be able to get your nursing taken care of and funding. Because again, we have awards dedicated just for practical nursing, and then we have awards dedicated just for African Nova Scotia students. So again, you can apply for both of those if you want to do nursing, but right now we don't have something from the government that's willing to pay for nurses. We're not at that point yet. They just want to pay for their continuing care because it's a quicker program. It's a 1 year, but you and I both know that, you know, although continuing care is a very rewarding job, you know, nurses, practical nurses are going to have, you know, they're going to make more money. They're going to have more, you know, responsibilities in a healthcare setting. There are scholarships and grants available for like those coming into nursing, whether you're accepted or you're going into your second year, but they're not African Nova Scotian specific. Yeah, but then there's other awards that are just African Nova Scotian specifics that you could still apply for even if you're going into nursing. You see what I'm saying? So you can double up on the awards versus like, you know, a white person going and doing the practical nursing. They're just going to have to apply for that scholarship. They can't apply for the self-identifying scholarships. I don't. So there's so many awards that I won't be able to tell you all the awards. I mean, I could pull it up on my computer right quick after, and we can look through it together. But there's awards like, for instance, they'll have someone's name in honor of this person. This scholarship or bursary is available for, you know, a single mother that's looking to do practical nursing, and you know, that's just an example. But we can look at that after. We'll look at that after.
Okay, my question is for NSCC. You talked about an online tool for that helps students. Is the result limited to just the courses you have in NSCC, or can it also help students who are considering other schools?
No, absolutely. Like, it is NSC specific, but those different criteria is whether you're, you know, helping or you're creative. It's going to give you an idea of what industry would be best suited for you. And another thing that we offer at NSCC is we offer you the opportunity to do a test drive. So during the months of October till March, you can sign up to visit any one of the campuses and any one of the programs, and you can spend a half of a day at the campus basically shadowing other students and the instructor of that program to really make sure that that's the best fit for you. Because again, we don't want you to waste your time. We want to make sure if you're going to NSCC and you're doing a program that you're passionate, you really want to do it. So it's almost like a test drive of the program to make sure it's the right fit for you. But to answer your question, it helps you for NSCC, but you can look at it in a way that's going to help for any school or post-secondary that you want to go to.
To be an accountant, what courses can you take? And I think this is pre-university, admission courses.
That's a great question. Yeah, like the accounting program at St. Mary's in our Faculty of Business, which is under Sobey School of Business, to be enrolled for, to be admissible in that, student need English language, they need general math, and 3 additional academic courses. And it can be any academic courses in their grade 12. That's the admission requirement. When they come to St. Mary's, the first 2 years is very exploratory, where students take courses from every areas of business, and then they kind of declare their major. And their 3rd and 4th year is where they do double major, like accounting and finance. So that's where they do the accounting specialization in their 3rd and 4th year. Also at St. Mary's, we are affiliated with the Chartered Professional Accounting in Atlantic. So we have a CPA stream as well. So students who want to get that professional accounting designation, they can go for the CPA stream while being at St. Mary's, take those courses in their third, fourth year, so that they don't have to do the CPA prep program. They can get directly into the CPA program. So yeah, for admission, English 12 academic, general math academic, and 3 additional academic courses. That's what we're looking for.
So I'm smiling because this is a perfect example for me that our wonderful partnership that we have with St. Mary's. So to get into the business administration 2-year diploma at NSCC, you just need your high school. Okay, so you would go into NSCC. Our first year is general, so you're gonna do all the general stuff. And then in the second year, you can choose to do accounting or finance or digital marketing or, you know, whatever. So it's a different path stream. So you could just go to St. Mary's right out of high school or wherever and start and do your degree. But this is a good example where we have that partnership where you can come to NSCC just with your diploma. You do your first 2 years at NSCC. You'll do your second year that's going to specialize in accounting. Then you're going to be using those transferable credits to go over to St. Mary's. You're going to do your specialization in your third and fourth year and basically go on with the same process as coming in. But it's a way that you could save money and, again, like kind of gradually get there. It's just the perfect example. I don't mean to steal the shine, but it's
no,
just...
I think that's what it is. And as I said, as Tari mentioned, that for a lot of students, going to university is a great start-off point. For some, starting off at a college is a great start-off point. So again, as you get closer to university or college, like let's say in your grade 10, that's where you start talking to us and kind of figure out that route which suits you better. And at this point, obviously, you have to look at the cost as well. That's something that is, I think, a big determinant factor. So whichever works best for you, you take that route. Obviously, you have lots of options with our partnership.
Absolutely. And let's just say you don't get the academic math that you need to get into St. Mary's for the accounting rate after you graduate. You can come to NSCC because you just need your high school. You can get those courses and then go back to St. Mary's. Again, like we work as like meeting where you're at. You know what I mean? You know, some people, you know, if they're IB, they can go right into university and be successful because IB prepares them for that. Other folks that might struggle a little bit in high school and might not know if they're ready yet for university, come to college first, get a feel for it, and then go to university. So again, just meeting you where you're at and what level you're at.
So for NSCC, really, there is no minimum like average for high school.
Not
I
for
know
business
you
administration.
mentioned for St. Mary's, 85%.
So our average requirement is like those 5 courses that I mentioned for each faculty. We need an average of 70% with no course below 60. That's for just direct admission. And then for scholarship, it's 85 plus.
Oh, 85% for scholarship, admission 70%.
70 with no course below 60. Yeah.
All right, okay. So I have a question, and I don't know, maybe like this is the last question if you don't have any other question. For, like, we have a lot of grade 7s, and I know a lot of students want to work during summer. What work can make my application better? Like, you know, there are people get into different things during summer, work in stores, and are these things that I can put into, that can make my application into the university better? What's work like? Would you advise that if you have to work, maybe get into this? Don't just look at the money. Like, what else? What skill can it add to you?
Yeah, so I would say for St. Mary's, again, like any work experience is valuable. Like if they can relate it with when, as Tari said, when they're writing that personal statement or essay, if they kind of connect that, you know, coming into university, I've worked in these areas to kind of help me prepare for it. And I think there is no bad experience. Like any work that you do, you get to learn a lot. Some works are very hands-on. It gives you that experience. It allows you, it gives you that opportunity to how to work in a, you know, work environment, working in a team. So I think, to be honest, there is no specific job that they have to do, obviously. And then they kind of relating that with like how it's going to help them coming into university and moving out of university, how they'll be able to use this degree to give back. So I don't think there's any specific jobs that they look for. As long as they're getting the experience, they're getting some experience, related experience, it helps.
Or volunteer position, like
Volunteer positions, paid positions, anything that they can do. Like, if they, let's say someone was able to work for the church during summer, help like, organizing things like that. Again, if you can attest to it, someone from the church that, this person worked here as a student, and, they have been a great leader in the community, they have taken responsibility and help, that goes a long way for a student, right?
Okay.
So anything, to be honest, helps.
All right.
Yeah. So actually, the average age of a student at NSCC is 26, because we have a lot of mature students that come back to school. Maybe they're changing their career. A lot of people at NSCC have to work while they're going to school. I mean, that's a reality. We live in an economy where things are increasingly expensive, and it's very hard to be able to just have one job and be able to like live comfortably. So what I will say about that is a lot of our programs do offer that opportunity for you to work while you're in school with a blended program. Similar to St. Mary's, we're going to have opportunity where you can be a tutor, or you could work in the student association. There's jobs that you can do on campus. We have a really good resource because, again, we have, like me being in recruitment, I see the inbox and all the emails of all these different wonderful employers in the province that are like, look, we want to hire some of your students. Can you box all the emails of all these different wonderful employers in the province that are like, look, we want to hire some of your students. Can you please connect me to so-and-so, or who's the instructor for this program and stuff? So I would say the best thing to do is really try to find a job that is relatable to the profession that you want to do. If you want to be in the medical field, being a records assistant or something would be good. Okay. But as long as you're working and you're getting those customer service skills, you know what I mean, and you're developing yourself, it doesn't matter if it's at McDonald's or if it's at, I don't know, the courthouse or something. Okay. You know what I mean? Like, as long as you're getting experience, all of it will add up and be beneficial for you when you go on to your career.
All right. Thank you very much. I believe that it has been a very successful event. I want us all to get up and say thank you in a very special way.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. We appreciate you. So we're going to say thank you this way. We're going to write the thank you, and we're going to write it with our waist. So, are we all ready? We want to say thank you. We want to say thank you to our facilitators. Can we put our snacks down now and hold on to your waist now? And we're going to write thank you. We're going to start with T. We are writing in cap lock. So T, H, A. You're not writing. N. Cap locks. K. Then U, Y. O. And U. What have we written? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so they'll they'll be at their decks if you have any question that you want to relay with them further, or you want them to check something for you about scholarship. Please.
If anybody wants a key lanyard that I had brought enough for everybody. And also the winners of the question, I think you're one. Were you one of them? You asked the one. There was someone in the back. Someone. The O2. Yes, they both won. So I'll make sure. This young lady right here.
All right. So I'll get it across.
But thank you everybody for asking the questions.
Thank you, everyone.
shines bright.